Welcome to the first screencast for the revision sheet that I've handed out for exponents and surds to my class. The first question here is to write in simplest form, which we would be writing in index form or exponent form, because that's the topic that we're dealing with. For this first one, what we need to do is collect our like terms together, and you don't have to rewrite this, but I'm going to rewrite it. So this will be equal to, firstly we'll get our numbers, so we've got a 7 and a 3, so 7 times 3, and then we need to write all these f's out, so times by f, and then we've got another 2 here, times by f, and another one here, times by f. Now we can evaluate the numbers, so 7 times 3 is 21, and then all of these f's multiplied together, there's 4 of them, so we can write this as f to the power of 4. That's the answer to that one. So if we had 5 f's, it would have been f to the power of 5. If it was 2, it would have been f to the power of 2. For the next question, we'll go through the same process. So I've got 7 at the front here, and a 2 up here, times by, then we've got a heap of m's, so we've got m here, times m, another one, times by m, and repeating. We don't have to do all of these in extended form if you're answering it in a test, times by m there. I'm just making sure I cover all bases, and for those who haven't quite picked it up, and then we've got the 2 p's up here, so times by p and times by p. So now to write our answer, we've got 7 times 2 is 14, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 m's, so this will be m to the power of 4. I'll fix that 4 up for you. And we also have 2 of these p's up here, so that will be p to the power of 2. And that's the answer to that question. Let's move on to the next question. Here we need to evaluate the following. This is a technology-free test, so you won't be able to use a calculator for this. Now, if I was to write this in expanded form, the first one will be equal to -2 multiplied by -2 multiplied by 2. The 3 up here indicates that we are multiplying what's inside the bracket by itself 3 times. So it is really important, especially with negatives, to make sure you include the negative as you're multiplying through. So a negative 2 times by -2 is -4. There, if you can't do it in one step. And then it's going to be times by -2. And then our final answer would be -4 times negative. Oh, I better go back a step. -2 times -2 is +4. Fix that one up. Times by -2. And then our final answer will be +4 times by -2, which is -8. Be careful that you don't get mixed up with the negative signs that are in there. Now, again, you don't need to break it down like this. If you're comfortable with it, you could go straight to the answer. But if you're not that comfortable with it, it's probably a good idea to go through those steps. For the second one here, we've got 2 components to it. So for the first one here, -9 squared, so that will be equal to -9 times by -9. And then that will be, take away 2 cubed, which is 2 times 2. Again, you don't need to break it all up like that. But I'm just going through the expanded form or the longer form for those who are a bit less confident. So -9 times -9 is +81. So if we have -9 squared, that becomes +81. Then we've got our takeaway from here. And then 2 times 2 is 8. So our final answer is going to be +81 take away 8, which is +73. And that's the answer to part B of this question. And that's it for this slide.